I'm Freddy DeMarco for American Musical Supply. Here are the first things you need to learn to begin your guitar playing journey. To experience good results, set aside a half hour a day, 5 days a week, to practice the things presented in this lesson. Consistent practice routines will get you better results than missing days on end and trying to make up the time with 1 or 2 long marathon sessions. So the first thing is to learn the names of the different parts of the instrument. This section of the guitar is considered the body. On the body, this is the bridge. Then we have the sound hole where the sound comes out of. This long piece here is called the neck, and the steel wire you see on the neck, those would be the frets. This section here is called the headstock, and connected to the headstock we have the tuning pegs. Next, let's learn the string names. This string right here is considered the first string, and that's an E. We call it the high E. The second string is a B. The third string is a G. The fourth string is a D. The fifth string is an A. And the sixth string is considered a low E. Your posture is very important. Start by sitting with the guitar like this with the neck elevated just a bit. Be sure not to let the neck dip down, as this will result in the fretting hand having to grip the neck wrong. Most of your attention the first few weeks will be focused on your fretting hand. Line your index finger up just behind the fret. So when you go to play a note, don't play it on top of the fret or too far behind it, or it will result in a weird buzzing type tone. You want a pure tone just behind the fret. And play on your fingertips with curved finger joints. Don't let the fingers collapse and play on the pad. So you want it on the curved finger joints. This will help strengthen the hand rather than collapsing them with the pad. Also, keep your thumb behind the neck. Don't let the thumb creep over. You want to create a mouse hole. See that right there? So you don't want to clamp the neck like this. We want it like that. To properly fret the instrument, the first finger, your index finger, should be just behind the first fret. Your second finger plays just behind the second fret. Your third finger plays just behind the third fret. And your fourth finger is dedicated to play just behind the fourth fret. The left hand should look like this. Hold your pick between your index finger and your thumb and play with the pick flat against the string and employ economy of motion, which means the less you move, the better. Do not follow through way past the string. Simply just strike it and then retrieve it, but don't go too far past the string so you can be accurate playing your next note. So like this. Not like this. Just this. To tune the guitar, I recommend going with a clip-on tuner, at least for now until your ear develops. Most of these work the same. You'll clip them onto the headstock, and they'll tune by vibration. So I'll hit the string, and you want, so the letter name registers, you'll see it. Now I want to turn that so the LED is in the center. And on most tuners, you'll have those 2 arrows light up when it's dead on in tune. There we go. So you'll then repeat that process for each string. Now let's play our first few notes. We will play each note 4 times and try to keep it even. It's called tempo, or think of it as speed. So we're not going erratic, you want it even. The duration or length of time between each note should be even, so work for that. So the first note is that high E string. Just line your pick up flat on that E string, and we're good to go. Strike it. The next note will be first finger F, and remember, line up just behind the fret with a curved finger joint on the fingertip. Then we're going to a G, that's the same string, third finger, third fret. So E, F, and G, all on the high E string. This is how it should sound when you practice it and you keep repeating. And work on stamina. Just keep repeating it over and over and over once you learn it and get the notes clean. If the single note exercises are going good and you're feeling ambitious, we can try some chords. So these are going to be at least 3 notes or more played simultaneous. So you're going to strum. Again, remember, economy of motion, don't go too far, just enough. So the first chord is going to be a C chord. We're going to play the index finger on the 1st fret, but on the 2nd string. This makes a C note. And we're going to play the open G string and the open E string with it. So we have to clear that high string. If we don't clear it, we get this. And I'm sure you'll get that for quite some time, but we want to eventually, playing on the fingertips with curved finger joints, clear that. The next chord will be a G7. That will be simply the 1st finger on an F note. So that's the 1st string, 1st fret. And you can play 4 strings on this chord, the D, G, B, and E strings. If you're really feeling ambitious, we'll go to the A minor chord. So now we're going to employ 3 fingers. 1st finger on C. You're going to have to clear that high E string. But then we're going to go 2nd finger 2 strings away, which is on an E note, but it's the D string. And we're going to cram in the 3rd finger just below it on the G string. This happens to be an A note. Even though I said a finger per fret, for the chords, we're going to break that rule. And we have 2 fingers on the 2nd fret, 1 finger on the 1st fret. And we can play 5 strings, starting on the lower A string here. Remember, not this. Economy of motion. So then you can play a progression. Once the chords get clear, you can start kind of getting them in time and switch them. So a progression is simply a musical phrase where the chords are played in a sequence. So like this, something like this. So we'll go C, A minor, and G7. So that was 4 C's, 4 A minors, 4 G7s, and then 4 C's to make a 4-bar phrase. Think about it. You're pressing metal wire into metal frets and wood. Your fingers will be sore until they develop calluses. This will take around 3 weeks if you're practicing. Expect discomfort during this beginning period. After the calluses develop, you'll only feel pressure and not discomfort. Remember to practice on a regular basis, and you'll see results. Hey, thanks for joining me.